He won the local cooking contest with his potato stew. And as a result, the judge, King of the Salamanders, declared him his court chef, which he's not very happy about.
How do you want to stop being court chef?
It's a problem because I couldn't possibly cook a bad meal.
I was thinking of playing a cat. I initially went with Mysterio, then I switched to pirate. Blue is a munchkin cat. Genetically, they have really short legs, so they're not excellent jumpers. But I'm still good at swinging and sailing with my short legs. He's a fluffy boy.
What's the third skill?
I want to be a singing cat. That's hilarious. I've heard of this tale of this really, really great food that was made generations ago. You know, it's kind of like fruitcake and make it and then it lasts forever. It's something that's been sung about and talked about. So I don't know if Blue wants to find the specific food or find someone who can make it or help his friend Johnny learn how to make it.
Treasure cake.
I like that. Let's keep it piratey.
Where do you hail from, Blue?
In Japan, they have that island full of cats. Tashiwajima is a small island.
Also known as Manga Island.
Winter has begun. The climate has become colder. The rivers, the waters have not been completely frozen yet, but parts of the area are starting to experience frost and light freeze. Boat got stuck in the bog and soon is surrounded by cave salamanders in the area. They're coming with pointy sticks, asking, "Hold! Who are you? What are you doing here?"
My new friends, my name is Blue. I am the captain of this ship, but unfortunately, I have crashed. I have gifts for you. I have shiny stones, pretty baubles that I have collected from people who paid me for my singing. I am an excellent singer, as well as a pirate.
They scramble on board. You let them rummage through your stuff, right?
Yeah. Even though I'm a pirate, I'm not very possessive. Everybody owns everything. That's how Blue feels about things.
Where's your crew?
So there's like a flashback where we were at port. My mice family was like saying, "Blue, be careful. We're just gonna leave for a while." And then Blue accidentally left with the ship, pulled up the anchor in order to be helpful. Blue does this every so often by accident.
Then the rest of the crew gets stranded in another port.
Yes.
They pick up different gems that you brought to them and comparing, looking into the light, wipe the gems clean and saying, maybe the king will like this on his throne.
Can I meet this king?
Yes, you will pay tribute. We will take all of these.
Sure. I can always sing and get more. That's how good I am.
Sing? What is that?
Oh, it's like this. And then I start yodeling like, wow, that cat singing.
I think that's uncertain how they take it.
I wanted to wow them and have them fall in love with me and my singing. Become fans.
They are completely enamored with the beauty of Blue's voice and want to make sure that this singing is always available for their king.
They crowd around you and says, "Wow, that is the best thing that I have ever experienced."
Of course it is.
I bet the king would like it too. Come. They throw away their sticks. Crowd push you.
Oh, yes, of course. I don't know if I could stay for long. I could sing a few songs, but I'll have to go back to my family.
That is for the king to decide. Oh, you enter the king's castle, which is something that tries to resemble what's in the classics. If they have seen any comic book pages lying about in the wild, things that look like the castle but almost second-hand or third-hand. The king of the salamanders is a really big fellow, so big that he cannot easily move out of his makeshift throne. It tries to look ostentatious. The salamander guards are going to decorate it with the gems they took from your ship. But some of them don't stay up, they just fall once they put it on. They whisper to the king, "Salamander King, we have a visitor who has a beautiful, what did you call it?"
It is called singing, of course. And I go, wow, like all over again.
You wanna try again?
That makes sense. We don't know if he has the same taste. I will push myself. I see them raise an eyebrow. I don't know if salamanders have eyebrows, but raise that section. They're not sure if they like it.
So you sing perfectly, and you see the heart sign in the king's eye. He looks over at Johnny. "I'm afraid to say that it's even more enjoyable than your stew."
Oh, they would be fighting words if Johnny was the fighting kind. Instead, he's just deeply offended. I mean, the singing is obviously excellent. Johnny can hear it too, but maybe he hasn't been able to cook his magic stew because he hasn't got his potatoes anymore because he's lost them again, as he always does. He sees that as a challenge to make better food.
The salamanders are fickle. Whoever gives them the best stuff, they like them more. Then the king says, well, after this great entertainment, perhaps it's time for feast again. All the guards cheer, and then they all chant, Johnny, Johnny, Johnny.
Johnny, in his time in the court, has been quite conflicted. He doesn't think they appreciate his food as much as it should be appreciated. They just seem to like whatever he serves up the same. But anyway, he always tries his best. So he'll cook up the best food he can, given that he doesn't have his magic potatoes. They seem to like the stew as much as they like anything else. And Johnny likes cooking his stews. Turnips and parsnips. Bit of fire ant spice, bit of heat into it.
It will be a good meal, but maybe not to override their enjoyment of the song.
He wants that praise. He needs to always be seen as the best cook. He comes out, he cooks it, he tests it, he thinks it's great. He brings it out to the king and the other salamanders and to Blue, talking of, oh, this is my piece de resistance. Brand new, no one's ever tasted this before. The subtle interactions between the turnips and parsnips is particularly good with a touch of spice. I think you'll agree this is my best work so far in your service. The salamander king, he's particularly enamored by it. Ah, yes, this is the kind of thing why I make sure that you're going to be my chef for life, that you can turn these dull parsnips into such tasty food.
I'll say, oh, this is so good. You know what would be perfect, what would match the best food I've ever had? It would be the treasure cake. Blue is pointing upwards, gesturing towards this empty area and saying, the treasure cake is a fine cake, and I think that once you taste it, he's specifically talking to Johnny, you'll be able to be the first chef ever to be able to recreate treasure cake. No one else has ever been able to do it.
The king looks toward the two of you and says, but where do you find such treasure?
I know an epic song that describes exactly how to get to it. It is exactly 64 stanzas long, but I can shorten it for you.
Some of the guards whisper to each other, too bad we let go of that rabbit scribe. He would have written everything down, and we will have record for future. Maybe we should go grab another one of them from the warren.
The salamander is so grabby.
Yes.
I do actually sing a shortened version. It only takes 5 minutes. You know, like those old pirate songs about how to get to a particular treasure, but it's kind of Ridley, like when the maiden smiles against the blue sky, something. But it's supposed to be like when you sail towards a particular place.
So the king then said, I shall send you to find that cake for me. Johnny, maybe you want to come along and learn how to make it.
Johnny was at the time trying to work out a way of inviting himself on this trip. So he is ecstatic that the king brought it up himself, because he goes, yes, this spice that you mentioned in the song, cacao, I have never heard of this or seen it before. Very interested to try and find this spice.
Yes, of course. Cake for everybody.
The ship is hard to move in the bog. How do you plan to travel in this condition?
Blue would think that ships are easy to come by. Blue could try to find someone else who could lend a ship.
Coco is the biggest creature in the village, so we could ask Coco to come and help.
In what way?
Push the boat out. So we go up to Samuel the beekeeper's house.
On the outskirts of the village, there's this farm, and then Coco lives nearby. Their job has been to find new patches of flowers for Samuel's hives of bees. But now that it's wintertime, most of the flowers are no longer blooming, and Coco is not really doing much during the day, just chasing around, playing with bees. So Samuel just grumbles the whole time, but ultimately it's Coco's choice. And she seems curious about Blue, runs to you and almost bumps into you.
Oh, hello, friend.
She circles you around. Wow, who are you? You look like me.
Yes, I'm Blue. I am the greatest singing cat ever, and I am also the greatest pirate ever.
Singing? Pirate?
Absolutely. How about you? Who are you?
My name is Coco. I think that's what I'm called. I got lost, but now this is my home.
And what a lovely home it is, Coco. Everybody here is so nice.
She tries to get at your hat.
I pick up the hat and I put it on top of her head. Do you want to become a pirate, Coco?
Yes! He doesn't even know what that means.
Great! We can do that by pushing a ship out of the bog, and you'll become a pirate just like me.
Yay! She runs back to her own house that Samuel built for her and comes out with one of the flower crowns that are kind of falling apart but still has some of the petals left. And she said, trade!
Trade! And then I put on the flower crown.
She comes with you back to the bog.
I have skills related to running. Maybe I could drag it. although I'm much smaller.
Could also justify some of the sailing skill just to help out.
Swinging, maybe you can construct some sort of rope contraption to help drag it out.
Yeah, I think that's an even better application of the skill.
The salamanders just watch. They're too small. They don't know how the ships work.
And of course, I'm singing as I work. Should I roll my swinging?
Johnny's definitely helping by running and pulling. The boat does not respond to singing.
The first roll. All right, the second roll. I try to help, but I realize that it's much easier to do something like this with my mice family because they would all help make sure that all the ropes and everything were in proper place when we would try something like this. And so poor Blue realizes how much more difficult it is to do it alone. And then starts crying big fat cat tears. Oh no, Coco, Johnny, everybody, what are we going to do? My boat is still stuck.
Johnny and I imagine Coco as well would definitely come over to console you. You know, it's a big boat. We'll think of something.
Okay, thank you, friends. I miss my family.
Johnny will offer to brew something up, some drink from your past to make you feel better.
Uncle Albert shows up with a backpack. He sees the situation and Johnny. He comes over. Has the king let you go, Johnny?
No, he's sent me on a special mission to make the most delicious cake in the world, a treasure cake. Blue here is the person who knows how to find out how to make it because we don't have the recipe at the moment.
Treasure cake. Treasure cake. Where have I heard that name before? Faces around the area. You know, we're not supposed to share this secret with outsiders, but I'm trying to get Johnny back home, away from the court. So whatever will help to resolve this, I will have to try. He takes out his scrolls, draws a very crude map, marks an X in a spot, and says, you don't have to travel by water. In this climate, your ship might be stuck in the middle of nowhere if you're not careful. Isn't that right? He points to Blue, assuming he is the sailor.
Blue realizes, yes, that's right.
But you have to promise, whatever you find here remains between the four of us. No snitching, points to Coco. And Coco just asks, what's snitching? Kids these days, they don't know anything. And he writes down a few names in the Echidna secret code and gives to Johnny. Now, you know what these are.
He's drawn on the map location that I've never been before, further down the coast.
The ingredients are not all foreign to Johnny. You are definitely not going to find the cake already created. He's showing you where those ingredients might be found. Only Johnny knows what those ingredients are unless he tells Blue.
Blue might have tasted a part of it once, but that's it.
So what Albert knows is the translation from some of the words in the song into terms that we know.
The song might have turned those ingredients into something more magical sounding. The rainbow dust?
Yeah, I didn't know what that was, but Uncle Albert knows what rainbow dust is. That it's actually, you know, a mix of spices of different colors in special proportions. Cacao would have to be ground down.
Sounds perfect. I love it.
Albert says, I will go talk to the king and make sure you can go home. But I guess you have to appease him with this cake. Just make sure it's not too perfect or you will be stuck here forever. All right? You're not sure whether he is doing you a favor or trying to sabotage your success.
Exactly. Of course, Uncle. I will always do the best I can. We can start walking. It has never been this far from town before, so definitely some navigation will be required. You're the world traveler.
All the way from Manga Island.
Where's that? Where's Mango Island?
Is Coco with us, by the way?
Yeah, she wants to be a pirate.
Oh, it's a beautiful place where there are lots of animals like Coco and me. I have 599 friends that look like me. Coco, you could come with me one day and you could meet all of the friends that look like us.
She's not even thinking about Samuel right now. Just smiling the whole way.
Already forgotten.
Because it's an island, a lot of them are pirates or sailors at the very least.
What do you think the scenery is like?
A lot of fresh snow. Everything is covered in this kind of frost. It's very quiet. So Blue just starts singing, saying, oh, I love the acoustics out here. It's perfect for my voice.
What does Coco think of the singing?
Oh yeah, Coco can sing too.
Maybe Coco isn't so good to start with. Over-eager and under-talented.
Sings way off key.
Oh, yes, Coco, that's good. Just a little more practice.
She doesn't know that it means it's not good. Just keep singing the whole trip.
Which way is it? Blue?
The north makes sense, like towards the mountain.
It's getting colder. Coco's crown of flowers turns into a crown of thorns because the flowers die. Need to make her a pirate hat.
The complication is Coco keeps wandering away to look for flowers. You can either go with her or let her be.
I don't want to leave her alone.
No.
Yeah, she's so helpful, but Blue is starting to realize what he made his mice family go through. Blue will take it seriously and want to help make her own pirate hat made out of scraps of wood or acorns or anything that could withstand the cold.
Yeah, Johnny, with his cooking skill, knows some non-edible leaves that are very hard-wearing that you could use, that you would normally use as like a plate to put things on, that could be sewn together to form a simple hat.
A pika rodent pops up from between two boulders. The pika looks at Coco's efforts and the flower crown on Blue's head, waits till you three pass by, and grabs at it, takes it, and runs off.
Oh no!
Coco hears that, turns and starts chasing the pika.
I will try to run, but my legs are short.
Johnny will run after the pika, and he's quite a fast runner.
So it's uncertain that it will catch up to them. They know the terrain better than you.
I'll push myself. Johnny runs and runs and runs, but he doesn't know the area very well. The pig is running around into some bush, and Johnny's spikes keep getting caught on the foliage, which is slowing him down, so he can't keep up. Eventually, the pika just runs off into some underbush, and Johnny's left there with basically, he's looking like a small shrub with all these sort of greenery and leaves attached to him when Coco and Blue catch up with him.
You see exactly where they're going. You remember your uncle telling you about these people. There's a small tribe of pika out here in the forest.
Coco is still going after them.
Coco!
She looks back, then looks at where the pika was.
Coco, come back. I'm going to use my open for them to understand me. So I'll be like, Coco, it's not safe. We have to stay together and be a family, okay?
At the word family, she thinks that's more important and comes back to you.
I know where they're going. We don't need to rush. We can catch our breath and clean ourselves off as he starts taking the leaves off.
Blue catches up finally. Stretches out their short legs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so tired.
They're going slightly up that little hill. You can see there's another pika there. I'm pretty sure that's where they're heading.
Wow, that's great. You're so smart, Johnny.
Never been called smart before. Very proud. Easily complimented.
Little hobbit thing.
Like the Hobbit has, like a little door and a little window in the side of a little hill.
That's exactly pika size. You'll be able to squeeze through, but Blue is just gonna be
Staring through the window. Try knocking on the door first.
Go away!
You took something that belongs to Coco.
No, it doesn't. It's nature's bounty.
But that didn't belong to me. I can give you something of mine if you want instead. My friend gave that to me.
We are preparing for deeper winter. We need all the plants and flowers we can get.
Oh, but we're going on a quest to find the ingredients for a treasure cake. I'm sure we'll find lots of plants along the way.
We need them now. It's already really cold. We can't travel far.
We will do the traveling for you, friend, and then we'll come back and give it to you.
But this is gonna be my lunch today.
Ah,
Well, if you ask Coco if it can be your lunch, then that's okay. What do you think, Coco?
Coco's stomach grumbles.
Oh no, I think it was gonna be her lunch.
this is the solution to all Johnny's problems, is either running or cooking. If you give us the flowers, I will cook you a better meal, sharing what we have.
Okay.
Johnny is the best cook that I've ever met.
Johnny thinks, and you've met Uncle Albert, therefore you think that I'm a better cook than Uncle Albert.
The pika opens the door slightly, hands you part of the flower crown and some of the ingredients that are on that secret map.
Oh,
You think the pika might have more of them inside their house.
can I come in and use your kitchen?
No.
That was very abrupt. I tried to cook a lunch, a stir fry, that is specially designed to have such incredible aromas that it will tempt the pika out of their house. I try not to use all the ingredients he's given me. I try to hold back a bit of the special ingredients, just in case.
But then whatever you cook up will be much smaller in amount.
We'll see how many we can tempt out of the house.
They all rush out.
Close the door behind them. They just won't let you go in.
Ooh.
Okay.
They look at you, trying to see if you're hostile. They might be scared of Coco, just because Coco might come up and try to play with them. It's cat and the rodent situation.
I want to wait until they start eating and I will sing a song of friendship. If they'll trust us and then they'll share what they have with us. They do trust us and they're enamored and they're ready to become friendly with us.
They said, this tastes different. Definitely not something that I've had before. Nobody in my tribe cooks. It's just always nature's salad to us. The name's Asher.
Hello, Asher. I am Blue, and this is Johnny, and this is Coco.
I'm sorry, but you can't come into my house.
Johnny can fit, even though Coco and I cannot.
It's not about the size.
What is the issue then? Why can we not come in? As I'm handing over another serving of food.
You won't understand. They look bashful.
Your house looks so lovely from the outside.
The window's covered up.
Yeah, because they're that private.
Do we get the hat back?
They go in quickly grab the stems that creates the crown part. Here you go, what's left of it?
Well, I guess Coco can try putting it back together.
Now Coco's sad, slumps.
It's okay, Coco. We can always get you a new one.
There are no more left in the area. I looked.
Yeah, because it's winter. But Coco, even if you had kept the flowers, they wouldn't have lasted all of winter. That's why we have to make you a new one.
You mean a new one like this? He points to the pirate head.
Yeah, because you're a pirate now, like me, aren't you?
Yes, I am. She perks up, forgets about the flower crown altogether. Asher slowly creeps back toward the house and says, well, nice meeting you.
I put a paw against the door before you can close it. But have you heard of treasure cake?
Cake? That's not something we eat here.
It's like tasting sunlight bursting on your tongue. Like, I'm trying to describe the sensation of sweetness. But it's a taste that lasts forever, that Johnny can make. But he only needs the right ingredients, and we don't have all of them. But I think you might have some of them. So with your help, Asher, we could make the treasure cake, and it could be enough for everybody here.
You're thinking and thinking. Something you do might be able to push their decision.
Sing the song of
The epic cake song.
Johnny can join in. Maybe Coco can join in as well. It takes extra time. Perhaps we have to go through all 64 stanzas, leaving both Johnny and Blue exhausted and tired, especially as it starts to snow. No further travel is possible today.
Johnny's like thinking, it must be over, right? And then Blue goes, and to the next stanza over and over again.
That actually created a complication for Blue, because even if Asher invites you in, Blue can't fit.
So I'll have to stay out here.
Asher does let you in. Maybe Coco's not gonna go in. She's just gonna peek in to see what's going on in there. Asher is like a half hoarder and half person who doesn't clean their room often. The messiest room you have ever seen, and it smells in parts. Trash didn't get thrown out. Knickknacks picked up from places growing moldy. There are no other pica in this residence. It is snowing now, and Coco is feeling the snowflakes, eating some maybe.
In his store, can I see all the ingredients we need to make a treasure cake?
Scattered all over the place.
He just pops his head back out the hobbit hole and asks, Blue, how are things out here? It's going to be too cold for you, surely.
I could fit my head in and keep my head warm.
Actually, you've got a lot of stuff in here. Some of it doesn't need to be inside for later. Maybe what we could do is build some kind of an awning, like a sail, but horizontal.
Yeah, I can help make the sail.
Asher's unhappy. No, you can't touch this. Can't touch this. It's mine.
It'll still be yours, just some of it will be outside.
Yeah.
So you have some space for more stuff in here.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like they have any kind of fabric around. It's a lot of plants.
Yeah, we could weave the plants. I know how to make rope and stuff. A big sailor thing.
Asher reluctantly lets you have some of the plants. They have already started to pile into hay for the winter. But still not enough. Half of Blue's body can get sheltered.
I can go foraging with Coco nearby to see if there's what else we can find that Asher would also find useful, while Johnny helps out Asher with things.
Well, I'm cooking cake. Johnny always cleans up when he's finished cooking, so he might as well just clean up a bit more along the way.
Asher will let you do whatever you need to do. You guys will split up.
I'll keep Coco with me. I don't want to leave Coco with all this important stuff.
So Johnny, you go ahead and do the cooking role.
He makes it according to the recipe that was described in the 64 stanza song. Now he's sung it himself, he knows the whole thing. One of the reasons it's called treasure cake, besides it's such a wonderful cake, is the beautiful sort of rainbow colours, like an array of jewels around the circular cake. Quite high, like veins of minerals. And he also does some cleaning up along the way. Doesn't leave his workplace messy and disorganized. Okay.
Foraging at the same time.
Asher's with you so that Johnny wouldn't have any issue cleaning up.
I'm really babysitting. I see what my mice family went through.
Asher points at different potential areas where the plants might be found. Coco goes and grabs the flowers or plants and comes back with them, all proud.
Good job, Coco.
Something coming down from a vine and go grabs some of the plants from Coco's grasp.
Oh no, what happened? Who's that?
Asher looks up and says, Marmoset family are rivals in the area.
I can swing after them and maybe stop them in their tracks.
It's a chase.
I'm going to push myself. Swinging has not been working for me now that I think about it.
It's okay. You have to advance that way through failure.
I failed because I was so big that I got all tied up by the vines. And wow! Sorry, Coco. I couldn't go after them after all that hard work you did.
You find out some important information on your goal. Maybe you notice that there is a richer source of one of the spices in the trees.
Ooh. I gather it up. I take a moment to try to remember how to get down from the tree.
And Asher said, "Did you get them back?"
No, but I found this instead. And then I show him what I was able to find. Would you like us to forage for more stuff?
I don't think with those marmosets around we will be successful. I thought I'm the fastest around here, but I gotta admit, sometimes I just need some help, you know? My family, they are sick of my place, so I had to move out on my own. I miss them.
Yeah, family is important, but you have new friends in us, and I'm pretty sure Johnny is making something wonderful for us when we get back.
I hope he didn't touch my stuff.
And I have this look of like, unless he touched it in the right way.
There's no right way, except my way.
I'm going to try to use the open to get through to him a little bit. I'll say, the important thing about friends and family is that we'll find a way that makes everyone a bit happier, even if they didn't get exactly what they wanted.
They're deep in thought.
Just let them reflect.
Asher sees the cleaner room and goes, "What happened? What did you do to my home?"
I just cleaned it up a little because, I was cooking. So I cleaned up the utensils and the dirty plates, and I needed the space to cook this wonderful cake, as I point to the cake.
They take a bite.
They'll be like overloaded because they've only had salad this whole time. It's got this spiciness to it. It's got this sweetness to it. So fruitcake can taste pretty intense. He's overwhelmed with how good it tastes and realize how much he's been missing out.
Reminds them that it might taste better with family around.
And then I'll say, and look, because Johnny cleaned up and everything, you have space for your family here. They can come and visit you. And we have the stuff outside that Johnny suggested building, so your family can come over anytime and eat this cake with you.
You're right. I should get them here as soon as possible. Rushes out. And leaving you with the rest of the cake?
Which we will guard from the marmoset.
Johnny would let Blue know that we now have all the ingredients for a treasure cake. I still have some left over to make another.
Oh, that's fantastic. Does Blue realize that you're trying to escape from the king, or?
You probably would have picked it up, because Albert was talking about how if I cook this cake, then I'll be freed from the service.
We can enter downtime, actually. Feast for sure for one of you.
Johnny always chooses the feast.
I want to help build Asher's place so that it can accommodate their family, and I want to marry Kondo, and so it's a bit easier to keep it clean.
Coco can take out one of the flowers from the crown and stuck it on the door to beautify it. She learned from Samuel and Johnny in the past, minimizing the amount of flowers she needs for her house.
This cake that you taught me with your song is a wonderful recipe. Where did you learn this song?
Oh, it's been passed down for generations. He'll describe how it was created by this really fabled chef. Sounds like one of Johnny's ancestors. Blue didn't realize because Blue assumed it was a cat or a mouse. You're the first hedgehog that Blue has ever met. It took a while for Blue to sail all the way here. So Blue will say that they said it was a weird looking cat, like a small cat with all these spikes and, oh, kind of like you, I guess.
Was she strangely coloured? Reddish brown spots along her side?
Oh, yeah.
My great grandmother, the one who taught us to cook.
What are the chances that I would meet the great grandchild of this amazing chef? I knew it. That's why no one else has been able to recreate this recipe. That's why it had to be you.
If great ancestor Mavis favoured your people with this recipe, then you must be good and friendly people. One of us.
One day I hope you can come and join us on Manga Island.
Although I'm not a cat.
Don't worry, we won't eat you.
Luckily, I'm not very good to eat. It's kept me protected from less friendly cats and snakes. Now we have an ancestral connection.
Yeah.
Does that mean that great ancestor Mavis travelled to your island?
We heard that she was not only a great chef, but a great pirate. We learned all our pirating from her.
I didn't know that. She left the village one day to discover new recipes, and we never saw her again. She was already old. She must have become a pirate.
Best retirement plan.
Grey-spiked old echidna, plundering and teaching people to cook as she went.
We're generous pirates. We don't believe in capitalism.
Sometimes you plunder and sometimes you actually give back. You're like Robin Hood pirates.
Perfect.
Asher returns with their family and introduces them as Abby, Anton, Aaron, Harry.
Hi.
Hello. We could all eat under the awning.
The rest of the Ica family are more generous and They share their plants and the spices that you were specifically asking for.
Enough to take home for a couple of cakes. Ashley's got a cake, and I make another one for storage, a fresh one.
Coco, deep in thought about what Blue has said about family. She wants to become a pirate, but then that means traveling to a faraway land, leaving behind Samuel, the only parental figure she knows. Outside of this new stranger who looks like her, she asks, "Can I be a pirate here?"
Yeah, of course. You can be a pirate anywhere. The most important thing to the pirate is not the ocean out there, but the ocean of generosity in their heart.
She looks at her chest and wonders if there's an ocean in there.
We will just spend time talking about each and every generous or kind thing that Coco has done to show how much of a good and brave pirate that Coco can already be without having to leave home.
She returns the hat to Blue.
Oh, are you sure?
"I will make a new hat out of my generosity."
Ah, that's a great idea.
We head back to the court of the Salamander King, cook up the treasure cake.
Blue will sing the exploits of Johnny and Coco for all of the salamander to enjoy. It's a challenge to see if I can sing your exploits well.
By this point, it's proven that Blue is a good singer. So maybe to prevent Coco from singing badly.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I agree to that. I'll try pushing. I want to give Coco a chance. It'll cover the entire time it takes for Johnny to cook because instead of 3 stanzas, I sing 16.
A whole stanza dedicated to the ocean and people's heart.
Yes, there you go.
I'm going to cook so much of such a beautiful cake that this is all he's going to have to cook for winter, and he forgets about me. It includes a special type of fungus that grows in the cake.
Oh, wow, yes.
So after you eat a bit, if you leave it, it comes back. Great ancestor Mavis was actually a wizard. I will risk 2 rascality to see if I can do it better. 2. Okay, so it stays at 4. Everyone loves it because Johnny is a good cook. King declares that the only thing he wants to eat, breakfast, lunch, and tea, is his generation treasure cake. So don't need to cook anymore. You're not needed. Johnny, you've done what you need to do. You've forgotten who you are now.
Other people hear about it, and now they all want to have treasure cake. You become the most wanted cook.
Now I'm the servant of every passing person.
You're gonna have to
all I have.
disguise yourself.
Albert whispers to you, "Johnny, maybe you should go hide out somewhere for a while."
Maybe I can collect the ancient recipe book of great ancestor Mavis to recompile all her wonderful recipes, because before we only knew the potato stew, and now we also have the treasure cake. There must be others out there that we should recover.
Blue would be happy to be with everyone, but then start to miss their own family. And then sort of belatedly realized, oh, I left them at the port of the last place we were at. There's like a cut back to the mice being like, again. So Blue is going to have to try to figure out how to free the ship, but they might have to stay until winter is done to be able to get the ship out more easily from the marsh. The last thing is Blue singing another song about each member of their mice family. 36 members of the mice family. That's also probably why Blue didn't do a good job of taking care of the ship, because it's meant for a crew, not just one cat.
We didn't have a major high climax in this session, but the story and the tone allows for a more mellow story.
There's not going to be any danger, because that's the tone, which is good. I'm not bored.
Yeah, this is super fun. I thought everything was super charming.
Whereas before, it was surprising me. After 4 times, I know what the tone is and what sort of thing to expect, which is good, although I still enjoy it. I think new people would probably still get that surprise. New players probably will still have that moment of, oh, tension, what's going to happen? I don't think that's any issue with the way you run the game. It's just an issue of familiarity.
I'm always wondering whether someone could try to play something like a mouse guard character. There's even a gift for cruelty, then that kind of character will be always fighting.
I guess it just shows how the system is more open and flexible that way, because it really depends. Because I came in wanting to be a very silly cat. So I always try to go for maximum charm and cute, because I want to see if it feels like the system can support it. But it would be interesting to see. So what happens if a character like Blue has to play with someone who's like a mouse guard character, more embittered and more cynical?